Cheers.
Cheers.
We're moving to Portugal in 23 days.
My name is Mike.
I'm Trish. Been in the process of this for, what, about a year now?
About a year now, yes.
Yeah, about a year. We've sold everything we own. Our house, our businesses, all of our stuff, his truck.
We applied for D7 visas, and we are starting over. We live in San Diego, California. A little bit of why we're leaving, I suppose. That could be done in a whole nother video.
Yeah.
But long story short, I guess...
It's not safe for our family to live here anymore. And that is a really shitty thing to say, but it's true. And we've been watching the situation progress for a long time now. And it's gotten to the point where it's just inevitable that this is not a place we can stay, unfortunately. So we did a ton of research, or I did, and Mike listened to me talk about the research. Mm-hmm. And we decided that Lisbon was the second best place in the world for us.
It seems like a really nice, safe place to live. It's beautiful out there. Obviously,
it's gorgeous.
We enjoy the pictures, but we're going sight unseen. We've never seen it before. So
never been to Europe. We don't speak Portuguese. We don't know anybody who lives in Portugal.
We have a 15-year-old teenage daughter, and we have a...
We have a 10-year-old, 14-pound purple and pink Maltese poodle.
Maltese poodle. Yeah, that's how we say it.
The number one question we get asked when we tell people we're moving to Portugal is, what are you going to do with your dog? And it's a stupid question. Like, what? She's coming with us. Oh, the other question we get is, what are you doing with your daughter?
Yes, we do have a 15-year-old daughter.
We're taking her with us. We're taking her with us as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have to get her a rabies shot.
A little bit of complicated of a process, actually. I don't know if any of you guys have pets and you do want to take your pet abroad. She has to weigh...
Oh, if you want to travel in cabin with her. So Sophie, she's right on the cusp of what we're allowed to have and what we're not in cabin.
Yes.
The TAP Air for Portugal has a limit of 17 pounds with the carrier. And with her carrier, she is 17.7
pounds. Right,
so she's going on a diet.
She's carrying a little weight.
Hey, girl, me too. It's all right, queen. Yeah. So she's going on a diet for the next 23 days. We're going to cut back her food a little bit, add a couple of extra walks, see if we can shave those 0.7 pounds. Exactly. Or maybe just buy another carrier. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, right?
But she is going in cabin. The process of bringing your dog is that she has to have a health certification from a specific vet. Not all of them do it. You got to find one that does it. For us, there's like one place in La Jolla.
Yes.
And they have to give you a physical, like, wet ink copy, and it has to be 10 days old less than 10 days when you enter the country. And she has to have a specific microchip. I forget what the specs on that are, but when she's microchipped and she's got that screening, all of her health vaccinations, rabies is a big one, has to be very, very recent. So she's going to the vet right before we leave to get rabies and her health certification. And the other thing about the dog, when you fly with the dog, you have to fly out of, I think it's either Chicago or New York. We can't fly out of LAX because we have the dog. So we have to fly from San Diego to New York, and then we're staying 2 days in New York. Just kind of break up the trip. And then from New York, we'll head into Lisbon on TAP Air, which is the Portuguese airport.
Yep. Let's talk a little bit about the lifestyle that we're leaving and what we're going to. Obviously, we're unfamiliar with the lifestyle, but California has a very go-go lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm from the Bay Area, so I grew up in hustle culture. Like, if you're not working or learning, you're dying. Mike's from Vegas, so it's constant stimulation. Everybody's moving 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And here in California, it's about earning and succeeding and continuing to move forward.
So we're going from a very fast-paced lifestyle where work is very important and money,
is
never
everything.
Sleeps,
yeah.
To having to slow down and taking 3-hour dinners, and the lifestyle there is just absolutely different. So it definitely will be a little bit of an adjustment for us, but
I think it's going to be a good thing for us to slow down. We've been since we sold the business, we've been slowing down quite a bit.
Yeah. So how we applied for our D7 visa, right?
Okay. It's possible to do it on your own. It is. But for me, because I was still in school and I was working multiple jobs, and Mike, we still had the business, and with the baby and everything. Well, she's not a baby. Sorry.
She's not a baby. She's 50.
She's 15. She's not a baby. She's not a baby. She's my baby. It was just too difficult. So I decided to research a bunch of different relocation firms. I ended up going with the Portugal Residency Advisors, which they've been amazing. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, we'll put the links and everything for you guys
100%.
in the comments.
Yes. So I decided to go with them. We had an interview process. They made sure that we qualified for the specific visa. D7 is a passive income visa, which is usually for retirees or people who have investment properties, income that they don't have to work for. It's very specific. And for us, because we own our businesses and the way that we file our taxes, it's owner distribution rather than a W-2. So we did qualify for the D7.
Yeah.
We had to send power of attorney to our lawyer, who got us our NIF number, which is a Portuguese tax ID.
Yep.
And then she set up a bank account with Banco Atlântico Europa, which is...
Link in the comments.
Love them. They're spectacular.
Uh-huh.
We had to put a minimum amount of money into the bank. It's specific to how many people are in your family. I'll put up foreign documents about that too. And then once the bank account and the NIF number were set up, it was the process of trying to get an appointment with the BFS. Different locations depending on where you live. For us, because we were on the West Coast, we had to go to San Francisco, which is notoriously slower than other parts of the country.
Took us about 4 months and about 2 weeks to get our visas back.
But even before that, trying to schedule an appointment,
was...
took me 2 to 4 or 5 times a day, trying to log in every day for months, trying to get that appointment. And then once I did, it was several months out.
Yeah.
So we had to get our documents apostilled, all of our identification, birth certificates, marriage licenses, background checks. We have to get an FBI background check.
Yep.
Those things have to be less than 30 days from the time that you go to the VFS appointment, and they take a while to get apostilled. So it's a very delicate time.
So you just have to be
very careful with the timing. And are you calling me a micromanager? Yeah, because that's the only thing I micromanage.
Then after that,
before we did that, we had to get the lease. So a few weeks before we went to our VFS appointment in San Francisco, we had to secure a lease. Part of your application is that you must have at least a minimum of a 1-year lease in place before you go to your VFS appointment, which is really difficult because it means that you have to pay rent in 2 places while you're waiting for your visa, which may not be approved.
Yes, which also means that you might not get approved. So you still have to have that in place 100%. For them to even see you and then consider approving you.
Portugal does have this really cool law that says you only have to fulfill 1/3 of your lease agreement. So if you do have a year-long lease and you didn't get your visa approved, a third of that.
You can't opt out.
And then you can get out of it.
Yeah.
For us, in order to get this incredible place that we found, we had to sign a 3-year lease.
Yes.
So that was a big leap of faith for us. And then we had to pay 3.5 months in advance.
Of course, yeah. So.
And I did get lucky with the timing because our lease started September 15th, and our VFS appointment was September 17th. So I didn't have months before we went. So that was kind of helpful. But it did take from September 17th through February 14th to actually get approved for our visa.
It took a little over 4 months.
And and when you go, you have to sacrifice your passport.
Yes, so that is one thing you have to do when you go see the consulate and you're trying to get approved for a visa. You have to forfeit your passport. So they just take it from you. There's no way to get around it.
No, we had letters from our attorney saying that we absolutely needed them. We begged. I cried.
Yeah,
I was really upset.
We tried everything we could.
And there's no way around it. It's a policy that went into place in August. Of course, we just missed it by 4 weeks.
Of course, that's how it rolls with us. But yeah, so you have to surrender it, which is very, nerve wracking a little bit, depending on who you are and where you're from and
What
what
your
kind of
situation was.
what your situation was.
Yeah. The other thing is that they tell you that there's a process for tracking your application, right? There's a website you can track.
Yes.
You can get text messages. You can get email alerts. You can call. Your attorney can call. None of that is true.
None of that is true.
None of that is true. For months, my application said in process.
In process.
And that's it. And it never changed until one day it just showed up.
Yeah. And the funny part is you can't talk to your lawyer about it because if
She tried. She called and emailed. Yeah, it didn't matter.
And we also had, we also paid for a service that FedEx was supposed to send us an email when they sent out our.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I get emails from FedEx
Yes.
all the time.
These are our personal sensitive documents. So we were supposed to get an email when they were going to send it to us, the day they were going to send it to us, because we paid for 1 day shipping. And we never even got that email. We just got a phone call
from the girl who bought our house.
So this is another thing is
who said your passports, your birth certificates,
everything showed up
everything was in her hands.
And the funny part is that when you apply for your visas, and then we sold our house after we did that, which was crazy, by the way, absolutely crazy. They have to send the visas or your visas to a designated address. So you can't use a PO box. You can't use an Airbnb.
A friend's
address. You can't use a friend's address.
Yeah, because the couple in front of us tried to use like their brother's address or something, and they couldn't do that.
Exactly. They don't want any of that. They want the address that you actually live in.
Which is crazy.
And we were in process of selling our house, so there was no way. So we had to send them to that address. And just
we expected to be able to like sit in front of the house and wait for them, but we never got notified until I got a message from the girl who bought our house. It was like, hey, I have your passports.
Yeah, absolutely. So
cool.
It was wild.
It was a wild ride.
So when we sold our house, we basically had to get rid of all of our stuff.
Yeah, which was crazy how much shit you have. Even in like a tiny house like ours, which was in San Diego, we had a tiny house with 608 square feet.
Yeah, it was small.
It was really, really small. I loved it though.
It was beautiful.
I loved it. Yeah, you built a great little house for us.
We sold everything, and basically we gave everything away, to be honest with you.
We did.
We gave everything to our neighbors.
Everything to our neighbors. We donated a bunch of it to Goodwill.
Yeah.
But the only things that we agreed we were going to keep were half of my comic book collection.
Yes.
I downsized my book collection, which was devastating.
Beautiful book collection.
I had a great book collection. So great. But we kept those. We kept the guitars and all of the Halloween decorations.
We kept the Halloween decorations.
For some reason, the jumping spider is coming to Europe.
God knows why we kept those.
You know why, okay? The jumping spider is a part of this family.
It is a part of this family. It took us forever to buy. Do you want to read this? And then that one?
What? I figured I'd document the whole process.
I figured we document this whole process. Visas, selling, everything, packing, shipping, and stuff. And that's what and what it's actually like when we get there.
I'm not reading that. This wasn't my idea. This was your idea. My idea was wine. That was my idea.
Here we document, the packing up, the selling of our stuff, the D7 visas, and what it's actually going to be like when we go over there. So who's ever interested, if you guys want to follow us and watch everything that we're going to do, we'd love for you to come along with our journey.
And if it's just my mom, that's cool.
Yeah.
Mom.
Hi, Mom.